It's the dictionary. 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 It's the dictionary.
Hello, word nerds. Welcome to the dictionary yet again. Oh my gosh, it's still coming. I believe, let's see, is this the end of April? Have we reached the end of April? I believe the next episode, 2 episodes from now, is the beginning of May. Ooh, we're getting close to the end of the E's. Happy days, everybody. All right. The first word in this episode is the second form of everlasting. Everlasting love. Is that a song? I don't know. Everlasting is a noun from the 14th century. Number 1, the synonym is eternity, as in from everlasting. So I guess if we replace everlasting with eternity, it would be from eternity. From, what does that even mean? From eternity. What comes from eternity? From everlasting. I guess that love would be from everlasting. Number 2 is capitalized, and the synonym is the number 1 definition for the word God, with a capital G. I guess, I assume. Probably. Everlasting. I've never heard this before. This is used with the word the or the everlasting. Probably in religious contexts, they will say this, the everlasting, because if there is a God of some kind, whatever name it goes by, it would be everlasting. It would be eternity. It would be constant, ever present. Maybe one of those words that we saw in the previous episode. Maybe God is ever blooming. Oh. Okay, number 3A is any of several chiefly composite plants as cudweed with flowers that can be dried without loss of form or color. And it says compare to the synonym, I guess, pearly everlasting. I don't know what that is. We went from God to plants. What herbs? It's a composite plants with flowers. Pearly. What is a pearly everlasting? It's a plant. So I guess maybe this is a specific kind of everlasting. Maybe it's the main kind. It's the Western pearly everlasting, or just pearly everlasting, is an Asian and North American species of flowering perennial plant in the family Asteraceae. Okay, everlastings. 3B is the flower of an everlasting. So the plant is the everlasting, and the flower is also the everlasting. I wonder why they call it this. Interesting. Okay, let's move on to next is evermore, one word, adverb from the 13th century. Number 1, the synonyms are forever and always. And number 2, in the future. In the future is evermore. Well, ever, we know, means always. So always more, always something coming in the future. I'm trying to think of how you would use this in context. Poets probably use this. Was the thing that Poe said, was it nevermore, or am I making that up? Was that a I feel like nevermore is just never. There's a band called Nevermore. Yes, the poem, The Raven is the poem, and then they people just call it the Nevermore poem. Nevermore. There is an actual Nevermore Academy in Romania. Now, is that no, wait a minute. That must be where they shot Wednesday, because wasn't that school called Nevermore? Yeah, there's an actual website for Nevermore Academy. Enroll at Nevermore Academy with Wednesday Addams. So, no, I don't think it's a real place. I mean, they must have shot it. Maybe they shot it at a real place. Interesting fact I just learned: Nevermore Academy is not only a real place, but it's also a castle turned school. Wait a minute. This can't be right. This can't be right. Yeah, I think all of this Wednesday stuff is confusing the real world. I don't know. Is it? I'm so confused. Okay, we were talking about evermore. Now we're going to talk about a different word. Cha 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 cha. It's aversion. Noun from 1751, number 1, the act of turning inside out, and also the state of being turned inside out. And I believe we saw this word, or the next word, evert, when we saw the word evagination, something that nobody wants to be thinking about or dealing with. As in the example, eversion of the bladder. How and why is your bladder being turned inside out? Is it inside your body? Can this happen? Can the bladder turn inside out in your body? I don't think it's probably going to happen where it leaves through the urethra and turns inside out. That seems pretty extreme. A version of the bladder? Huh. Okay. Number 2 is the condition, as of the foot, of being turned or rotated outward. So, some people, for whatever reason, maybe their feet are just angled out a little bit or something. So I guess they would have a version of the feet. Eversible. Eversible is an adjective. So I guess that's just anything that can be turned inside out or rotated out would be eversible. I hope that nothing of yours has aversion, goes through aversion. Yeah, not good. Most things shouldn't probably be turned inside out. What are some things that could go through aversion and be totally fine? There were those. I think there were some like toys in the 80s that you could flip inside out, right? There's jackets, there's clothes that you could turn inside out, and it's a whole new style of clothing. I had those I think they were boglins. I think that's what they were called, like creepy guys with tails or little arms. But I would turn those inside out. I would put those through aversion, and they looked very weird. They did. Okay. Next. Avert. Transitive verb from 1533. Number 1. Synonyms are overthrow and upset. Oh, I'm so upset that I got overthrown. They averted me. So this is you're flipping the form of control inside out. The people, the ants, can go avert the grasshoppers, metaphorically speaking. Number 2, to subject to aversion. So, yep, that's where we saw this literal word in evagination, an act or instance of averting. Yeah. Okay, this word is from the Latin ervertere, which is from the e prefix plus vertere, which means to turn, and then you put the e in front of it, and it is to turn around, to turn inside out, to flip around, to turn and do a little dance. There's more at the word worth. I'm not sure how or why. Okay. Next is every. Adjective from before the 12th century. Oh, by the way, I am recording this on March 27, 7:10 a.m. right now. Number 1A for every is being each individual or part of a group without exception. We are not leaving anybody out of this every definition. Every single thing, every single person is part of everything. 1B is being each in a series or succession, as in every few days, also as in every once in a while, sometimes. Being each in a series or succession. Every few days makes sense, but every once in a while, there's no succession to that. It's just sometimes. Okay. Two is obsolete, and it is being all taken severally. Huh? Being all taken severally. What does this even mean? Being all taken severally. Severely? Is that? No. It looks like severally. Like you take several pills, but you take all of them? I don't understand it. Moving on. Number 3. Being each within a range of possibilities, as in was given every chance. I feel like, I mean, I've seen stuff like this before. Are you putting the definition, are you creating the definition just for that specific example? Like, can't every chance can be every single thing? Like, you could maybe simplify it to just all the stuff. And your example could be was given every chance, every single chance they were given. I don't know. Being each within a range of possibilities. Okay, maybe it's different. It must be. There's smarter people writing this book than me. I'm the one who's trying to learn the stuff. They're the ones who are trying to teach the stuff. So they probably know. Number 4, the synonyms are complete and entire, as in, we have every confidence in her. Complete confidence. All the confidences. Entire confidence. She must be pretty talented if we have every confidence in her. She will save us all. There's a phrase, a few versions of a phrase, every now and then, or every now and again, or every so often, and this means at intervals, and the synonym is occasionally. Every now and then, every now and again, every so often, sometimes, occasionally, I like to walk down the street. At intervals. Okay, this word is from, it's basically the Old English words for ever or each, and that's it. Yeah. Okay, next. Ja. Everybody. Everybody or everybody, if you want to say everybody, buddy. This is one word. It is a pronoun from the 15th century, and the synonym is everyone. Every person, everything, all the stuff. We're talking about people probably. And of course, because I'm here, I have to re-shout out for the umpteenth time the documentary called Everybody, or Body, which I believe is 2 words for the documentary. And it's about intersex people. And this is, as I've said many times, this is just something that I don't think people really think about or talk about a lot. So I'm really glad that there is a documentary out there. I thought it was fascinating and educational, and you should watch it. Everybody, go watch it. It's probably streaming. Let me look. Let's tell you for real information. I saw it in the theater. Sharon and I saw it in the theater, which was great. But I don't know if it's still got a theater run. That was a while ago. Let's see. Everybody. Oh, if you have Amazon Prime Video, you can watch this for free. Well, you pay for it, but it's for free. You could also rent it on Apple TV, Amazon, YouTube, Vudu for $4. Or you can buy it, even better, for $15 American dollars. By the time you listen to this, everything could be different, but right now, that is the case. So go off with you and go watch it. Okay, next word. Every day. One word. Adjective from circa 1632. Encountered or used routinely or typically, and the synonym is ordinary, as in everyday clothes. Ordinary clothes. I'm wearing my everyday clothes. Cargo pants and a graphic t-shirt. Which t-shirt am I wearing today? It is another Nightmare Before Christmas shirt. Actually, I gotta get up real high so you can see the whole thing. This one's particularly fun because it's other things that make up Jack's face, and I quite enjoy it. Okay, every day, encountered or used routinely or typically. Yep, this is what we're using all the time. Routine. Maybe it's your comfy pants, your comfy clothes, your sweatpants, what's your everyday clothes. You could post a picture and tag me on the social media. You could send me an email. I don't know why. Just do that. Everydayness. That is a noun. Everydayness. You have so much everydayness when you were wearing your everyday clothes. Next is everyman. One word. Everyman. Noun, which is often capitalized for some reason. We'll get to that. From 1906. And this is the typical or ordinary person. In a lot of ways, I feel like I'm the everyman. I am an everyman. I'm just average across the board. Nothing particularly interesting or special or skilled about me. Very average. I know a lot of people who are not the everyman because they are special in some way. I'm not. This word is from Everyman, with a capital E, who was an allegorical character in a play called The Summoning of Everyman, or The Summoning of Everyman. That was from the 15th century. It was an English morality play. And maybe I should put a link in the show notes for this play. The Summoning of Everyman. Sounds interesting. I don't know. I don't know my play is so good. So I don't know but it's a morality play. So it makes me think of like, there's some real important message that you're supposed to get from this play. The Summoning of Everyman. And it's a character in that. So that's where this word comes from. Did it not get used before that? Next is everyone. Pronoun from the 13th century, and it's every person. The synonym is everybody. And I believe, yes, everybody, the synonym there, took us to everyone. They send you back and forth. Everybody, everyone, it's the same thing. Because the ones are the bodies, and the bodies are the ones. Cha. Every place, one word. Adverb from circa 1917. The synonym is everywhere. Every place, all the places in the whole place, and that's all the wheres too, everywhere. Are we going to see everywhere here? Yes, we are. But first, we got to go to everything. Pronoun. That's a pronoun? From the 14th century. Number 1A. All that exists. All that exists is everything. We don't usually use it literally in that way, but that is obviously the main definition for everything is just everything. All of the things. They Might Be Giants have a song where I think it's there's one of everything. Is that what it is? And it's just the idea that there's just one everything. If you combine all the stuff in the universe, there's just one of that. It's a thinker. My phone's sending signals through the microphone. Maybe you can hear that. I can hear it. Okay, what else about everything? Number 1B, all that relates to the subject. So this is where we're getting a little bit more specific. All the important stuff for what we're talking about, that's everything. We're not talking about all the stuff in the universe, just the things about this topic. As I go through this podcast, I will have talked about practically everything. Number 2, all that is important, as in, you mean everything to me. You are so important to me. You're just like my whole world. All this stuff is so important. You're everything to me. Okay. Number 3 is all sorts of other things. That's the definition. Why is this funny to me? So all sorts of other things. Everything. This is used to indicate related but unspecified events, facts, or conditions, as in all the pains and colds and everything. That is a quote from E.B. White. I don't know, did E.B. White write Charlotte's Web? Was that a quote in Charlotte's Web or something? All the pains and colds and everything. All sorts of other things. That's what we're talking about. Used to indicate related and unspecified. You're just other stuff. Just other stuff. Okay. Good stuff, everything. We've got so many, in this little section, we've talked about all the stuff. Everybody, every day, every person, everyone, every place, everything. Now we got more. Choo-choo-choo-choo-choo. Choo-choo. Everywhere. Everywhere. This is an adverb from the 13th century. In every place or part. That's it. Just literally everywhere. Everlasting. The everlasting is everywhere. If you believe in that sort of thing. Every which way. That seems like it should be a phrase. But no, it's its own entry. It's 3 words. Every which way. Adverb from 1824. Number 1. In every direction. When the Big Bang boomed at the beginning, maybe the beginning of the universe, I think it exploded every which way. Literally in every possible direction. It would make you think that there is a center to the universe. It came from a one point, but they say that there is no center because the universe is the universe. There's no end to it, but it seems like there should be an end. It hurts my brain. Okay, number 2. In a disorderly manner. The synonym is irregularly. As in, toys scattered about every which way. Irregularly. There's toys over there, there's toys over there. My office feels a little bit like that. It's not exactly, but it's not great. I need to clean it. In a disorderly manner. Oh, parents love it when they go into their kids' room and they see stuff every which way, all on the floors and everything, and they're like, put this stuff away. And they're like, but I'm using this stuff. That's what the kids say. Here, very good to see you. We have every woman. We had every man, and now we have every woman. I'm glad that we have some balance and equality there. This is a noun, often capitalized. From 1945. Now, wait a minute. Every man was 1906, even though it was from a 15th century play, so technically it goes all the way back to the 1400s, about 600 years ago. And it was an English morality play, which means it was in English back then, but for some reason they're saying it's from 1906. Even still, 1906 is about 40 years before every woman. You would think that if you have every man, if you have that word, then you would automatically have the word every woman immediately in the 15th century. Whatever. Okay, what is this? It is the typical or ordinary woman. And it's just an alternative of every man, because obviously women are an alternative of men. I'm making a joke, but I guess every man came first, and so we have to adjust that word. We can't have it, you know what I'm saying. Now it's whatever. Words are stupid. I'm sorry, words. I didn't mean to disrespect you in that way. Okay. Next is, we're done with the EVEs. No more everything, no more evers, no more evens, none of that stuff. We've got EVG, abbreviation for evening. Next is evict. This is the EVI section. That's going to go for more than one episode. Evict. is a transitive verb from the 15th century. Number 1A, to recover from a person by legal process. And the thing that you would be recovering, probably, possibly, is property. So this is literal property where people live. You are evicting them from their place of living because it's illegal for them to be there. This is frustrating. I understand why this exists, but people need a place to live. So let's figure out a better system maybe. I don't want people to be evicted. 1B, so I guess technically that one is you're taking things that they own for whatever reason, and the government is taking it or something. But this next one, 1B, is to put out by legal process, and the person is a tenant. So this is the one where they're living in a place, and you're putting them out of that place for whatever, because maybe they can't pay the rent. Well, let's look at the reasons why they can't pay the rent. Okay, number 2 is to force out, and the synonym is expel. I guess you could, if you're expelling a student from school, you are evicting them from school. A synonym is the word eject. I'm going to evict the VHS tape from my VCR. I'm sorry, VHS tape, you are not allowed to be there anymore. You have not paid your rent, and I need to replace you with a different movie. Eviction is a noun, and evictor is also a noun. This word is from the lower Latin verb evincere, which is also from the Latin evincere, which means to vanquish or to win a point. To win a point? So maybe this is from the olden times, Middle Ages maybe, where they got knights and they're jousting. That's of course the first thing I think of. And so I guess if one knight vanquished another one, they beat the other one, they got a point for that. There's more at the word evince, which that's going to be in the next episode, I think. Evince? No, 2 episodes from now. I don't know what that one is. Evict. So that's where this is from. To vanquish. If you defeat a dragon, you have evicted it from its home, its cave, its mountain. Yeah. Evictee. Evictee. Noun from 1879, an evicted person. So another form of the word evict is evictor. That's the one doing the evicting. But we have a whole separate entry for evictee. I don't know why we couldn't have combined it with the other one, but whatever. The person who has been evicted by the evictor is the evictee. Last word. Here we go. It's the first form of the word evidence. Evidence. First form. Noun from the 14th century. Number 1A. An outward sign. And the synonym is indication. Indication, an outward sign, evidence. I got a rash. This is just an example. This is not the true story. Not a true story. I have a rash, so there's an outward sign of a rash on my skin. Maybe it's red, maybe it's raised. And so that is the evidence of something going on the skin or underneath the skin. Yeah. It's very helpful when there is evidence of a medical problem. If you can't see it, it's hard to figure it out. What's going on? 1B, something that furnishes proof, and the synonym is testimony. But specifically, something legally submitted to a tribunal to ascertain the truth of a matter. This is what the legal world likes. This is what the judges and the juries and the lawyers, they want evidence. If you are trying to prove that something happened, you need evidence. Can't think of a good example of something funny here. I have evidence that this dirty napkin, this dirty paper towel is evidence that I, wiped my hands on it or something yesterday. So I should probably throw that out. Now I'll probably reuse it. Because I already put too many paper towels in the garbage. I try and reuse them as much as possible, so I'm not putting so many paper towels in the garbage. It's not good for this stuff. Okay, that was evidence. Number 2, one who bears witness, especially one who voluntarily confesses a crime and testifies for the prosecution against his accomplices. They could also say against their accomplices. I really, really, really hope that we start seeing the word their, their, instead of his or hers or that type of thing going forward, because everybody is everybody, and we don't need to genderize them because you don't know, because it's in the definition. If it were in an example, okay, fine, put his or hers or whatever. But in the definition, that should be as generic as possible. That's what I think. Okay, so the person is the evidence. They are the one who bears witness. They are the one who saw the thing that happened. This would be first-hand evidence from the person who saw it with their eyes, and hopefully they got good glasses and stuff. Okay, there's a phrase, in evidence. Number 1, to be seen, and the synonym is conspicuous. As in, trim lawns are everywhere in evidence. And that is from American Guide Series NC. Does that stand for North Carolina? Or New Country? I don't know. Anyway, trim lawns are everywhere in evidence. They are everywhere to be seen. If you go through, now it doesn't say trimmed lawns. Trim lawns are I don't know. You go, I think of Edward Scissorhands, that's full of trimmed lawns everywhere. They're in evidence. You can see them. They're right out there in plain view. Go watch that movie if you haven't seen it. Number 2 for in evidence is just as evidence. So there's no example, but this paper towel was used in evidence to prove that Spencer had dirty fingers yesterday. Okay, I think it's time to pick a word of the episode. We have talked so long. We had today everlasting, evermore, eversion, evert, everybody, every day, every man, everyone, every place, everything, everywhere, every which way, every woman, EVG, evict, evictee, and evidence. Isn't there something, is there like a movie or a play or something called Every Which Way But Loose? That's what it was. I don't think I ever saw that. Let's see, anything interesting? It's a 1978 American action comedy released by Warner Brothers starring Clint Eastwood in an uncharacteristic and offbeat comedy role. I should watch it, because why? I don't know. Is it good? Looks like it's middle of the road. Okay. It's a fun phrase though, every which way. Which one am I which one of these am I going to pick? Everything, every place, every man, everybody, every woman, every day. I don't know. It's gonna have to be one of these every words, I think. Evermore is just forever and always. I don't know. That's kind of a fun one. In the future, forever and always, evermore. Sometimes it feels like I'm gonna do this podcast evermore. Perfect. Let's now talk about a movie that I watched in the past. Which one? It was. Next one is Late Night with the Devil. Oh, I just watched this a few days ago. Brand new movie. Supposedly, this movie on Sunday made $666,666. That's what's been going around on social media. I don't know if that's true or not, but it's kind of funny if it did. Late Night with the Devil, it's a fake. It's one of those like, here's some footage that we found of a real event, even though we obviously know it's not a real event because it's filled with actors. But it's about the last night of a late night talk show, and some creepy stuff happens. Yeah, that's all I want to say. It's worth a watch. Go watch it. Thank you very much. This is the end of the episode. What's happened? Let's do this. This has been Spencer dispensing information. Goodbye.